Hey, strangers on the internet. My name is John, and I go by Narwhal, and I'm here with Chug, and he goes by Woodpiece.
You can also call me Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I think my smell is failing.
Maybe you have COVID.
Well, I don't. Maybe, but
Man, I really hope not.
especially when you get your vaccine tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
But like when Kyle got to my house today, I said, "Oh, like you smell like detergent," and then I kind of have realized, like the last couple days, things have been smelling weird, and I now think I'm putting the pieces together. I don't know what's happened, but the last week or so, things that normally smell a certain way, I still smell them, but they smell different than they've smelt my whole life. Like,
what does that mean?
Okay, this foam has
Yeah.
a very distinct smell.
Okay.
And I have one of these mics in my bedroom now. Like, and it's one that's been in the studio here for a while.
And you're just sniffing it all night?
Well, no, and as I'm playing, I played a few rounds of Warzone yesterday with Anthony, and as I was playing, I literally told him, I'm like, something smells weird. And then I was eating pasta, and I was like, this isn't how this pasta is supposed to smell.
Okay.
So I don't know what's happening, but I think maybe I just hit my smell puberty.
Maybe it was your breath, and you've been breathing onto this microphone, and then you're finally smelling your own breath, and you're like, God damn.
Like, holy shit, this is bad.
Yeah, it could be.
No, it's what does yours smell like?
I don't know. I never really smell this.
Does it smell like foam?
Like, I don't have this. I mean, it has a distinct smell, but I don't have this smell in my brain, so I can't tell you if it's different or not.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like normally it smells like foam, but the last week it smelled like foam with a little citrus twist.
So there's some citrus in there?
Yeah, a lot of things have been smelling kind of citrusy.
Were you eating oranges?
No, I hate
Lemons
oranges. No one eats oranges.
I like oranges.
When is the last time you ate a real orange, not a cutie?
Well, oranges aren't in style. Or I mean, wow.
You're right. They're not.
Oranges aren't in season right now.
So,
Winter.
when's the last time you ate an orange?
Like a full-on orange.
Yeah.
It was definitely when I was in Europe. It was.
So like 2 years ago?
It was like 2 Christmases ago.
Okay, so they're not that good.
No, they are though. Like that's why I haven't eaten one since. Is because in Madrid they have amazing oranges.
Okay, and maybe that's true.
My sister gave me an orange, and it changed my life. And now I can't. I actually, you know what? It was when I got back because I bought another orange, and it wasn't good. So
Okay.
So that was the last time I had an
then
orange.
You proved my point. Oranges aren't
It's
good.
been over a year. That's pretty sad.
The other day, my mom was like, "Oh, a year ago is when so and so like, or no, it was like I have a baby cousin, and my mom is like, "Oh yeah, like your cousin whatever's first birthday is coming up," and I was like, "Holy shit," because he was born during COVID.
That baby's that's actually crazy.
It's just crazy that it's been a year, and I know we've said that before, but when you have actual like dates, like this time last year.
Yeah, 2021 still, it doesn't feel like 2021 yet. I still feel like we're stuck in 2020. Like when I see 2020, I still think it's current.
Yeah. How long does it take you? Well, when you were in school and would always have to write the date, how long would it take you before the new year felt like the right number?
It would take at least a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's way past that now. We're in April, and it still feels like 2020.
Yeah. Oh, I see Steve. That was kind of creepy. Sorry, I got distracted.
Is he looking in here?
No, I don't know what he was doing. But something that I wanted to try today. The other day I had this grand idea at the gym, and I texted Kyle.
Okay. Yep.
And I was like, "Hey, what sound do you associate with the name Dylan?"
Yeah, I didn't have anything off the top of my head.
Because I heard this song by Dylan Francis, and I never really so Dylan Francis is pretty famous, but like I never have listened to him because first of all I don't really know what his music really is, but I would never even click on it because every time I saw Dylan Francis, it just didn't seem like a music artist.
Okay.
You know,
what does it seem like?
Well, in my head I hear
Okay.
and I think Dylan Francis is like beach vibes.
Okay.
And like, which I guess that could associate with music.
Maybe he's got some beachy music.
But I don't even know. I think Dylan Francis is like an EDM producer or something, or like that type of community. And I don't know, like when I think of like EDM, it's like, you know, and they need a an alias kind of. You
like
can't
a
just
zingy kind of name.
Yeah, Zingy or Zed or Skrillex or
Something-
like they need a Z or an X or a Y or
That's
a
true.
something,
Or
and
some
then
Ls.
it's just fucking Dylan.
Yeah.
So in my head, Dylan is push.
Dylan's got a Y.
No, it's
Oh,
Dillon.
that's even worse. Okay. Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm Dylan.
So I'm gonna just say some names and just first sound that you think of when you hear the name.
Okay. I mean, I also have some written down too.
Yeah, but yours are different, right?
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of names written down, and I got what I have associated with them.
Just but not sounds, just like things associated.
They're
with-
different.
Okay. Well, yeah. Here, let me just give you a few, and
Okay.
then you can.
We'll see
go
if I
through
have
your
anything.
list.
I don't know. It could be nothing. I'm gonna close my eyes.
Samantha.
Samantha. Thinking of like a small flower. Oh.
That's the sound.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like a small pink flower.
Yeah, that's kind of fits.
That's kind of the same sound too. Like that's what a sour. It sounds like a flower.
yeah. Okay. Edgar.
Edgar. Oh.
Yeah.
See, yeah, kinda. Edgar, I feel like is a little like it's probably because the gur.
Yeah, he's
It's like
assertive.
"Arr."
Well, and when I hear Edgar, I think of Edgar Martinez.
Yeah,
So like, I don't know. I feel like that sound kind of fits.
yeah. He definitely would grunt.
Yeah.
He could grunt if he swung.
Yeah. Okay. Bill.
Bill. Okay. It's just I just think of white and boring.
Yeah. I think of like a fax machine.
Okay.
Is
So
that-
you associate all these with sounds.
A
rather
lot of
than-
them, yeah.
Are there any of them like visuals?
Like Caden is blue.
Okay.
We were talking about Caden the other
Yeah,
day, and
Caden's
he's blue.
Interesting.
I
I wouldn't say blue for Caden.
What about? Damn, this is tough. I'm trying to think. Carly.
Carly. I think of like a hair curler.
Yeah,
That's probably because of
Carly.
Carly. Yeah.
No, wait. You said
Like Carly, curly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I'll give you two more, and then
Okay.
we'll go into your list. Dave.
Dave. Okay, Dave. I think of like a small blue car, like a small
Volkswagen
like
Bug?
like an kind of like an older Volkswagen Bug, but like a convertible,
Oh,
kind of.
Dave.
It's baby blue. That's Dave.
damn. Dave goes to like car shows and that.
Yeah.
Or is it kind of a rundown?
No,
one?
yeah, like car shows.
Oh, okay.
Dave.
All right. What about Sierra?
See, I just think of my cousin. I have a cousin named Sierra.
Ah, yeah. I think of like
Sierra. Okay.
it's like a
What does that even resemble? Is it like a man going?
No, I was thinking of
"Oh"?
I think of a waterfall, but like if you're kind of from the distance, you're not right next to the waterfall.
Yeah, yeah.
You're kind of overlooking the waterfall. You hear a.
I don't think that's what waterfalls sound like.
It's all your. It's
It
perspective,
sounds like someone
Kyle.
moaning in a cave.
Kyle, how do we know that what you hear is what I hear?
That's true.
Huh?
Maybe his waterfalls sound like oh.
Yeah. No, that was too high pitched. You
Oh.
gotta really get in back in your larynx.
Larynx.
That's the same thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read you some of mine that I have written down. Guys, comment along with us. If you guys have anything that pops into your head when you say these names, please let us know. Okay, Griffin. Do you have anything for Griffin?
He has big teeth and he plays baseball.
Okay, I think of bread, like a loaf of bread, like a loaf of wheat bread. It's Griffin.
Oh,
It's
why?
just so Griffin. I don't know. That's just extremely Griffin.
What type of bread?
Like whole wheat.
Yeah.
Whole wheat bread. A big loaf of whole wheat bread. Uncut whole wheat bread.
But like, does Griffin do anything with the bread, or it's just
No,
the bread itself?
Bread is Griffin. I don't even think of a person. I just think of when I hear Griffin, I just think of just a loaf of bread.
I kind of get what you're saying, but I think more of the brown bread at like Italian restaurants. You know
Yeah,
that
like
rare brown bread?
Yeah, like a darker bread. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of what I meant.
Okay.
Okay, what about Carlos?
Carrots.
Okay, I think of Jello. I think it's because of the loaves.
Jello.
Yeah, Carlos. Jello.
Yeah, no, there was just this kid that in middle school, he brought carrots and he brought this like one container of ranch, and every day during LASS, he would eat his carrots and ranch.
Was that his name? Carlos?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to him. All right, what about Brooke?
I think of like someone who's really tan,
Okay.
because I know a Brooke that's really tan.
Okay. I think of briefcase, like a brown briefcase.
Brooke.
That's my Brooke. I carry my book around. It's my briefcase, and it's kind of like it's a little worn down.
Maybe it's because it rhymes with book, brook, and book, and in your briefcase you could have books. It kind of resembles the shape of a book.
I can pretty much say I'll never have a briefcase.
I thought you were gonna say never read a book.
That too. I'm not gonna read a book. My briefcase will never have a book in it.
Yeah.
Like, what are briefcases for? Like,
I think it's like
or?
no, like if you need it. A briefcase is just a business purse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's just if you want to carry shit to and from work and home
That's
or
true.
whatever, but you don't want to put it in a backpack.
Never wear a suit for a living, probably.
Except if I see someone walking around with a briefcase, I immediately think like, you're a douche. Why don't you just use a backpack or like a bag?
Yeah, but I mean, imagine wearing like a full-blown suit and then just having like a JanSport backpack on. That doesn't really fit.
Yeah. But then again, you could just use a bag.
Like, what kind of bag?
Well, oh no, I think the purpose of a briefcase is for like documents and shit because they don't fold.
Yeah, and you could, I guess you could get like a laptop case, one of those like satchel things. I don't know. Claire.
It's kind of the worst.
Really? Okay, I always think of a mirror.
A mirror?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I think like clear mirror, like a clear mirror or something like kind of shiny.
I also think a Claire has like bleach blonde hair.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
And the sound for Claire is
okay.
Yeah.
All right. But like, what kind of attitude is that? Like a kind of like a bitchy attitude? Like
yeah.
Okay. All right. Courtney.
Courtney. Oh, I don't want to say it because it's bad.
I already know what you're going to say.
Do you think? Do I say it or do I not say it?
I mean, probably don't say it.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think of cross-eyed people. Like when I hear Courtney, I think of people that are cross-eyed.
Oh. Do you know a Courtney that's cross-eyed?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of why.
Okay.
So
well,
these aren't really like what I think of the name. It's more of people that I know that have that name.
Well, mine's not. I think of a jump rope. So, I don't know.
You seem pretty like direct and confident with these answers. So these must be things that you've
some of these
had in your brain for a while.
Some of these I've had my whole life.
Okay.
And I've just never said them out loud because I thought it was a weird thing. And
Well, when I think of, I got one now.
Okay.
Every time I hear Joseph, I think of elephants.
Interesting.
And like, I don't know. I just picture like Joseph is on like a guide and he sees elephants. Like, I feel like more likely than not, his name is Joseph.
I feel like Joseph or Roger are names for like tour guides, like a safari tour guide. Hey, I'm Joseph, or hey, I'm Roger.
No, Roger. Yeah,
Roger
is like the
guide.
professional of any field in nature.
Yeah, Roger's a nature.
Roger could take you on like a hike.
Bird watching.
Yes.
Roger bird watches for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Roger, I feel like he has those like he dresses how the Irwin family dresses.
Yeah,
in like
khaki
the dark
shorts.
greenish colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, next we have Oprah
Winfrey. That's
okay.
all. That's the only thing.
I have always also thought of jump rope when I think of Oprah. I don't know why a jump rope means so much to me.
I don't even think I've seen you jump rope before.
I don't remember the last time I jumped roped. Jumped rope?
Jumped rope?
Jump roped or jumped rope?
Whoa.
Jumped rope. I think it's jumped rope.
Well, it is a rope that you're jumping, but you jump rope is an action. So if it's the past, you jump roped.
Jump roped.
But I don't know.
I think it's jumped rope.
Yeah, I don't
Jumped
know.
roped. Anyways, I don't know. For some reason, I had this memory. Okay, my family always gives me shit, and they claim that like I had this big crush on Oprah when I was a kid, which I don't remember having a crush on her, but I have a memory of being in line at the grocery store with my mom, and then there's all those magazines on the side, and Oprah was on there, and for whatever reason, my mom was saying like, "Hey, that's Oprah." And I thought her name was like Opa, and I thought she had a cool name. It was just fun to say, so I guess I talked a lot about Oprah, and for some reason I thought of jump ropes. Maybe she was holding a jump rope in the first picture I saw.
That we need someone to do some discovering.
Okay, if there is a cover on like a health magazine with Oprah and a jump rope.
From what
like
age were you?
2003 to like 2006.
Okay.
Please, someone find that, because it's got to be out there.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Sam. What do you think of Sam?
Really good at making paper airplanes.
Okay. I think a deli meat. Probably because it rhymes with ham. I just think of Sam. I just slap Sam on a sandwich.
Can I get a pound of lightly salted Sam?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Okay, and then I got one more. Zach.
Redhead.
Okay. That's because you know a redhead.
I know a redhead named Zach, but
I think of like yellow and electricity, but that's probably because the guy from what's that game? Fusion Frenzy.
okay.
There's a dude named Zach, and he was yellow.
Okay.
And he just, I don't know. I guess he.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Like, I really need you to just answer. Just don't, like, I need you to answer as soon as you can.
Okay.
What's the first Pokemon that comes to mind?
Caterpie.
Interesting.
Caterpie, because that was one of my first cards, or that was like I think that's the oldest card I have, and I think it has like my neighbor's name written on it. I think it's his Paul on it. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I remember he drew on it.
Mine is like you said yellow, and mine's Electabuzz. Is that his name?
Electabuzz? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super random.
He's like he's upright, and he's like the yellow but like black stripes.
He looks like a plug too, I think. He might have like a plug.
Oh.
Like an outlet.
I thought he kind of looked like
Electabuzz,
like Bigfoot kind of, but yellow.
Bigfoot but yellow? Like
I don't know what you mean a plug. He looks like a furry animal.
Like an outlet. Electabuzz. I mean, I think he had.
Are you thinking of those balls? Those metal ball Pokemon?
No, like Magneton or Voltorb. Fuck.
Let
Yeah, no, that's Electabuzz. Yeah, you're right. He looks like that. Oh, I was thinking of baby Electabuzz. He's the one down there. He's got a little plug.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Diego.
Like a backpack.
So like from Dora. I think of a sandbox. I don't know why.
Okay. I feel like Diego would play in the sand. I feel like Diego would go in a sandbox with one of those plastic spoons, and he would keep digging, and he would like work on it every day, and then just dig really like make a really big hole.
He's just gonna dig out of the sandbox.
Yeah, or like into the Earth's crust.
Okay. Were sandboxes ever fun? Like, do you remember having fun in a sandbox?
I have a sandbox in my yard.
Yeah, did you play in it?
No.
Exactly.
No, but our field in elementary school
we had
was
big ass
huge like sand field.
And we had a sandbox in the corner.
In the sand
in
field.
the sand field, we had a sandbox.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Doesn't make any sense. Why'd they do that?
I don't know. I never set foot in the sandbox.
Seattle is the absolute worst place to have a sand field because anytime it rained, it was just. Did they let us if it was pouring?
No, we used to have rainy day recess.
Oh,
that was
fuck
the worst.
that.
And think about how much it rains here. That shit was all the time. Rainy day recess, and it would just be we'd be under the undercover stuff, and they would give out like 2 basketballs and like 6 jump ropes,
or you could go and sit inside the lunchroom and play like Connect 4 or something.
Yeah, it's like this is not recess. I need to run around.
How long was our recesses?
We used to get like 15 minutes, I think.
No way.
I think one of our recesses was like 20 minutes.
Oh, did we have 2 in the same day?
Yeah, we used to have 2. I think we had maybe it was like 20 to 30 minutes.
It's crazy because when you're younger, at least for me, it felt like it was like an hour.
Yeah.
A couple of memories I have about elementary school. The big sand field, one summer, I begged my mom to not take me, but there was this camp that she signed me up, some summer camp at my elementary school she signed me up for. And obviously I didn't want to go because I didn't have any friends going. The only kid I knew was this one Mormon kid that was part of the Boy Scouts with me.
Okay.
Or the Cub Scouts. I hadn't reached the Boy Scouthood yet. But I remember him and his squad were their goal for this week-long camp was to dig the biggest hole they could. And they I remember there was this intense thing on whether or not I could join the group, and because I knew him, and he was let me ask my friends if you can dig with us.
So it was a really exclusive hole digging group.
Yeah, and I was really nervous, but they actually let me dig with them.
That's really nice of them.
And I was I made it, guys.
What were you digging with? Just your hands?
Yeah.
And where was
just in the field, the big sand field.
But weren't you guys doing a camp?
No, it was supposed to be a camp, but it was largely
kids running around.
I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back on it, all the counselors were probably just high school kids that needed a summer job.
Exactly.
And they did not give a fuck.
Yeah. I used to go to camps like that too, and I remember going to one and asking what grade my camp counselor was in, and she's like, Well, I'm not really in a grade anymore. I'm in like, I guess you could say like 14th grade, and I just thought she was like, holy shit, she's like 40. And I didn't know what 14th grade meant.
She just didn't stop going
like,
to school.
She is old as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in 14th grade.
I didn't even know what 12th grade was, because it's like I just thought it was high school.
Yeah.
Did you ever coach the Skyhawks camps?
That was one of the camps I went to, but no, I never did.
You never. It was okay. So me and Connor, our buddy Connor, who we've talked about a lot, in high school, like I did it for 2 summers, I think. But he basically started coaching these Skyhawk. Wait, was it him who did it?
I don't know. I used to coach stuff with him too at the community center.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, so you guys coach basketball and you also reffed basketball.
Yeah, I also taught soccer classes. I played like 3 years of soccer. I don't know.
I know nothing about soccer, but I remember, anyways, all 3 of us, we did a lot of like stuff like that in high school, like sports related stuff. And I think it was him who got me to sign up for Skyhawks, which is this summer sports camp. But like, it's not like a quality summer sports camp. It's like pretty cheap, and it's mainly parents who work and need to get their kids out of the house during the summer.
Let's drop your kids off at the elementary school
and just hope for the best.
Yeah,
it's not like if you actually want your kid to learn sports, you're not taking them to a Skyhawks camp.
It's just a daycare.
One time I got this kid or these brothers, and the older brother was like fine, he was cool. Or no, the younger brother was cool, but the older brother was just like the absolute worst. Ugh. I think he probably had like ADHD and just didn't want to be there, didn't like basketball, and he did not respect us at all. And I'm like a junior in high school. Like, I don't know how to deal with kids or like how to like punish someone, and I'm not even supposed to punish them. Like, you can't. It's these cheap camps, so I can't make him like run lines.
That's true.
And even if
all right, on the line.
And then even if I try that, like some of these kids are just relentless. They don't give a fuck because they don't even like basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if you're at a basketball camp, it's easy to kind of like punish kids if they're not paying attention, because at the end of the day, they like basketball and they're trying to learn basketball. But this kid did not give a fuck, and I think his name was like Eddie.
Okay.
And I just remember, like, I basically asked his younger brother, I was like, dude, like, can you help me control Eddie?
Get your fucking boy, dude. He sucks.
And I just remember every day, like, it's a week-long camp, and the parents would drop him off. And I'd be like, what's up, Eddie? And he just would give me that look that he was being a good boy when his parents were there. Uh-huh. And he looked at me, and every day I just fucking he knew how to get under my skin.
He knew he was gonna fuck you up. Yeah. I used to teach camps too, and there were always a few kids that just would not listen. And there were always the parents would be sitting on the sidelines. So like we'd be in like a basketball court, and then the parents were sitting on the sidelines, and then the kids are all just doing whatever. And there were some kids
the parents would watch as you tried to coach.
Some would. Some would sit there.
That's the
a lot
worst.
of them would just like sit on their phones. I didn't really care, but there was like this one kid in particular that just would not listen, and he would just be running all over the place, and like he'd take the ball, and he'd be always the kid that's dribbling when I say hold the fucking ball. And I'm like, hold the ball, and he just like dribbling, looking at me. I'm like, I would so beat you up if you were older.
And then Kyle just doesn't know how to control him, so you just yell louder and louder.
Then I just
and then
give
they
up.
think it's funny.
And then I start looking like his mom's there, and I'm like looking at his mom like, could you do something? Nope, she's just like playing on her iPad. And I'm like, I get it. You probably don't want to deal with your kid right now, and that's why you brought him here to me, so I deal with him for an hour. But this really sucks, and I'm just like a junior in high school. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I think that's also what scared me about having kids, is because I saw like just what they're like in the wild.
The psychos that they are, yeah.
And they're a disaster. What I would do is I would find a certain game that they really liked.
Sharks and minnows
and
is
like,
always my go-to.
Yeah, and you're supposed to have, like, when you get trained for Skyhawks and like get hired, you're supposed to have like a 15-minute warm-up and like a fun introduction game of the day to have the kids get to know each other, and then maybe teach them a skill, and then have like a water break. What I would do is I would just get there. I would like do some dribbling stuff to warm up but they didn't really care about that, and they all sucked anyways. So then I'd be like, who wants to play Sharks and Minnows? Yeah. And then we would do that for like 50 minutes.
And then you just get them to run around a bunch, and then they're all tired, and then it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why they bring him to the camp. It's just like, hey, go get my kid tired for an hour, and then I'll take him while he sleeps.
Yeah. And then the parents come pick them up and they're like, oh, how were they today?
I'm like,
And
they were so good.
Even if they were just the worst, you're like, oh my God, Jerry is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He's the next big star.
Yeah. And do you ever get any kids in your classes that like were actually good at sports?
Yeah.
Dude, I had a couple kids that I could tell they had potential, and I so badly just wanted to like, I just wanted to be like, there's a path for you, and I can get you on this path. You just have to, you got to listen to me.
You could be the one to get him on that path to greatness.
Yeah, I can at least start him. I can be like, hey, let's start developing that left hand a little bit. I know you're only 5, but you got it. I can just tell you have that factor.
Hey, well, maybe in like 13 years from now, one of those guys will be in the NBA.
I hope so.
And maybe they'll shout you out. They're like, yeah, I had this one coach named Kyle, and he really changed the way I viewed basketball.
You know what the issue was with that is there was one of the camps was the guy that I did it with, my other camp counselor. He was older than me. He was like my boss, and I was like the assistant.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, on the first day of camp, he called me Coach Ryan. And I didn't correct him, and so they all called me Ryan.
All the campers.
Only one of the classes called me Ryan, because in the other ones, I think he maybe didn't call me Ryan or something.
And were the parents watching?
Yeah,
so I remember, they thought you were Ryan.
I still remember on my first day out, the little girl just like kind of walks out, and she's like, "Bye, Coach Ryan." And I'm like,
did you say bye back?
Yeah, because I didn't want to. She's like, she was probably 5. And it was too much for her to explain to her, like, hey, my name's actually Kyle. It was really awkward when, this guy called me Ryan, and I didn't want to correct him. So I just said, I was just gonna roll with it and be called Ryan.
Then did your boss, for the rest of time that you worked there, did he think your name was Ryan?
No, he figured it out.
Oh, okay.
It was just that one class. And I think it kind of slowly faded out, and I could even tell he ended up calling me Kyle later on. And I could tell some of the kids when he called me Kyle, they were like, You're
Ryan.
You're Kyle? I thought you were Ryan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go, guys. There's another nickname you could call. You can call him Woodpiece, Chug, and now Ryan.
Dude, Ryan, I've gotten called Ryan. Like, that's the most common name that I get called from. Actually, also Cody. I got called Cody one time. I was getting my oil change, and this dude just like, all right, Cody, what kind of oil do you want? And I was like, my name's Kyle. And he's like, oh, my bad. And he came back, and he kept calling me Cody. And I'm like, dude, it's not that hard.
I don't get, like, if I am not absolutely certain about someone's name, I'm never just going to throw out a name.
Yeah.
And there's people that do that.
I know. I'm almost afraid to call people names. Like, if I'm just meeting someone, I have to be 100% sure that I know your name if I'm going to call you by your name.
Yeah. And I feel like if you meet me, like, I feel like I'm very obvious with, like I try to kind of hide it, but it's very obvious if I don't know your name. Because there will be a long conversation that we have where I should have said your name. And I'm like, oh, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good, dude. Have a good one.
But there's no way to hide it. And it's like, you're already this far into a conversation. Do you want to bring up the fact that you don't know their name?
Yeah, like how long after meeting someone is appropriate to still ask them? Like, hey, sorry, what's your name again?
I don't know. But once you get past that point, I get way too afraid to ask for names. And I'm just going to not ever know your name.
There's been times where I've had coworkers and I worked at places for like a year and I never learned certain individuals' names because I felt like I'd been there for so long that it's really weird if 8 months in I ask like my friend, hey, what's that guy's name?
That's why name tags are helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked like one name tag job and I knew everyone's name just because I could see your name. Just in case I forgot, I could see it right there.
You should get your name tag just like tattooed maybe up here.
Kyle.
Or like right here.
Yeah. Kyle. If you're wondering, my name's Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Cody or Ryan.
Yeah, you get Kyle and then you get Cody and Ryan, but with like a red line through them.
Yeah.
Underneath.
That would definitely.
That would do it.
That would help.
What's the name that people call me? That like
Jason.
Yeah. Dude, I've had like 3 different people in emails. Like I'll send them an email and I end with best, John. And then they respond with like, oh, hey, Jason. I'm like, dude, my name is literally in the email. And my email address is John. Well, I'm not going to say my email, but it has my name in it.
It has your name. Yeah. I don't get that. And if I'm going to reply to someone's email, I'm going to make sure that I'm getting their name correct.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, no one wants to be called by the wrong name. But you do look like a Jason.
Okay.
Like
What's that mean?
objectively, you have.
What do you think of when you hear Jason?
You. I don't know. The closest thing. I don't really know any Jasons, but
You don't associate any of your random objects, like maybe a tablecloth
No.
or a cornucopia.
No, Jason though. I feel like I think of like maybe darker features, like you kind of have darker features.
Okay. Yeah, I'm dark.
Dark, tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm. I looked. I recently realized how white I was. Like I looked
Pretty
down
white.
extremely white. Like growing up, I didn't realize how white I was. And there's some pictures where I'm like, God damn, I am so pale.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's something I can do about it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of like on the spectrum of whiteness.
Mm-hmm.
There's like my sister, and
Like
then there's
dark. Yeah.
and then there's like,
Me.
well, not quite. Like there's people whiter than you.
That's true.
You know, people that are literally pasty, middle of like
Like
that
Edward
country?
from fucking Twilight.
yeah, he's pretty fucking white.
Yeah.
But like you're like a couple notches up from the bottom.
But
And I think I'm like somewhere in the middle.
I'm closer to the bottom now. But at least I can tan. Like I burn.
Yeah.
I burn, but I do tan.
Yeah, you can get a good crispy golden brown in the summer.
Well, I wouldn't say
Around the
brown.
edges.
Yeah. I get a real bad farmer's tan. Like when I played baseball, it was my left hand was white because I always had a glove or a batting glove on.
Mm-hmm.
Right hand was like kind of okay because sometimes I have a batting glove on, sometimes I don't. And then my sleeves, it would just be like my forearm. Both my forearms are tan, neck's tan, face is tan. That's it.
I think that farmer's tans for me are something that like I hate them more than I should. Like they're really like I really don't like farmer's tans.
Like when you see someone with a farmer's tan, or when you have a farmer's tan?
I'll avoid a farmer's tan at all costs.
Well, I mean, me too. But so you can't, like, I'm playing baseball. I can't just, like,
Yeah,
not
no.
have a farmer's tan.
But I mean, I didn't play baseball, so I never had to deal with that.
Yeah, it's true.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Also, how come? What's the purpose of wearing one batting glove versus two?
I always wore two. I didn't understand the one batting glove. But I
you
mean,
just
like,
said sometimes you're wearing one.
no, because I'm talking about my glove on my left hand.
I see.
Um,
But there are guys that wear like one batting glove, right?
yeah, you don't really see that too often anymore. You would see people doing that in Little League, but I always
Just
looked at them.
probably
and I'm
for
like,
aesthetic.
you don't know what
effects.
you're doing. Yeah. I mean, but in golf, you only wear one glove, and it's just
Why's that?
it's your bottom hand or your yeah, like on the bat, it would be your bottom hand. I don't know. It's like for grip or something. I don't fucking know. All I remember is my football glove smelled horrible.
Dude, my football gloves, I still have that smell permanently ingrained in my brain.
I can smell it right now, dude. My baseball cleats at the end of a season, or like if I was in a tournament and we're just playing like 4 games a day. Oh my god! And I would bring like 2 pairs of socks, and I just remember being in hotels, and my dad would hang my cleats and my socks out the window because they were so bad, and like
Yeah.
we couldn't really wash them because we're in like a hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had like anything associated with my name that smells worse than my youth football gloves.
You don't think like
I don't think even
like some
when I played
spandex?
basketball, no, not even close. My spandex, my jerseys, my practice jerseys were never as smelly as my
What about
football
shoes?
gloves. My shoes are like, they're smelly, but I think it's something about when it would rain and the wet water would just sit in those gloves.
Oh, I know.
And like obviously that happens with your jerseys and stuff too, but it's just not the same. I don't know.
But you also don't wash your gloves too.
Yeah.
Like you wash your jersey.
How come it feels so weird to get in other people's beds? Like not in like a romantic sense. I'm
You
just
getting
saying.
in other people's beds recently?
No, it's just like if I went into your room, I'd feel so wrong just getting in your bed.
Yeah, that's true. I do feel weird like sitting on your bed.
Yeah, why is that?
Because I know what you probably do in your bed. You probably are
Whoa.
jerking off in there.
Whoa!
Oh, you
What do you
jerking off on the
think?
floor?
What do you think I'm doing to my bed? I don't do that.
Masturbate a
I'm
lot.
a good boy.
Well,
Dude, I've never, ever done that in my bed. And if you were to
So,
just
yeah.
claim otherwise and spread false information to all of our viewers, that's something that is between you and God.
okay. Well, me and God, we both know that you're jerking off in your bed.
Whoa, no.
God's looking
Don't
down
slander
straight
me to
at
God.
you. Okay. Well, anyways.
Wait, no question about God.
Okay.
So, like,
He sees you when you're jerking off. Yeah.
That was one. But like, if I thought someone's the worst, right? And I just like tell God, I just plead with God, like, yo, this guy sucks. He's the worst. Like, you maybe need to like teach him a lesson. Mm-hmm. If there's other people that are like, hey, God, this guy's really like good, but he's been struggling, like someone who's friends with this guy.
Okay.
And they're like praying like, hey, this guy needs some help. Like, give him some good karma, give him some good vibes.
Sounds like a pray trial. Like this guy's on trial.
No, my question is, do those counteract? Like, do you think God acknowledges both sides of a shitty person?
I don't think God's acknowledging people talking shit about other people.
Really?
If God is God, whatever. But like, yeah. I don't think you can just be like, hey, this guy sucks. Can you do something about that? Like, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah. But that's kind of what praying for people is.
You can pray for people, but praying for bad things for people, I think that makes you a bad person, probably, right?
Okay, but even if I'm praying for good things, you think God like takes those into account? So I'm like, hey, God, listen, Kyle works hard, eats relatively healthy. Well, he's a nice friend. You think God's like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
I think God knows. I think he knows that.
What's that game show on ESPN?
Sports Science.
No, the thing where they get points. Based on their take?
Yeah, I hate that show.
Pardon the interruption?
No, Around the Horn.
Around the Horn, yeah. So you think God is kind of like, oh, that's some good points.
3 points for Kyle. I don't know. I mean, if I were God, I think I would know. Like, I feel like you just kind of, you have a judgment of all these people. And I don't think, like, Jason telling me that this guy sucks is going to change my opinion. It's going to make me be like, hey, Jason sucks. Maybe we should go after Jason and give him some bad karma. Oh, you think
God's going after people?
He might be.
Damn. It's kind of evil.
Could be.
Okay, here's another.
It's going to offend some Christians.
Question. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Not offend them, I guess.
If there's someone that in my life experience, is a total asshole, right? They're the worst. They've said terrible things to me, been really horrible and mean to other people around me. So in my worldview, like, that person is a terrible person, right?
Okay.
But then let's say that person has a best friend, and to that best friend, he's always been loyal, friendly, their families are close, like they've never done anything to harm each other, they're great. And they have a whole community of friends. And like in their eyes, like they've never seen or done anything bad. So is that person that I think, in my experience, is a bad person? Like, I've thought about this a lot. Can anyone be objectively like
truly
a
evil?
Mean person or not truly evil? Like, there are some fucking psychos that are truly evil, but I'm just talking about like a regular person where someone goes like, oh, he's a dick or he's an asshole. Like, can anyone really? Are they really? Because in my perspective, they are, because that's what they've done to me. But if you look at it objectively, and if I could like not be me with my experience and just meet this guy, he might be like the coolest guy ever. So is he really an asshole if he has this whole other community in his life that love and respect him? And
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of all about perspective. I mean, I think every person that has people that love them, like, they know that there's a good side of them, a good side to them, but you're just seeing their bad side. And I feel like a lot of people's bad sides are someone that's like, oh, he's a dick.
Yeah.
It all comes back to something of like how they grew up or how their relationship is with somebody or whatever, how they view themselves. Yeah. And that's probably why they're a dick to you.
Yeah. So I don't think does that mean they're a dick?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe. So I don't know. I mean, some people in my experience, they just seem like such a horrible person.
Yeah, but then
they have people that love them. Yeah, they have
and
friends,
family.
So, I mean, maybe they're also horrible people, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and that's what's so weird is there's like a couple people, like there's this one guy in particular that I'm not gonna say his name, but like there's this one guy I really don't like.
Okay,
and you know who it is, but
sure.
And like I can't possibly, when I like think of him, I'm like, how could anyone see anything in him? But then I'm like, there's got to be tons of people that love him and that think he's probably one of the nicest guys they know. Yeah, and that's just so weird because there's probably people that I guarantee there's some people that I've said maybe one thing to, or I met them one time in my life and they don't like me, or I know there's a couple people that like probably hate me from things I've said or done.
Mm-hmm.
And like, obviously I'm biased because I'm me, but like, I don't think I'm a total dick, but there are people that do think I'm a total dick. And I can probably say that confidently.
You think you can confidently say that there's people that like really hate you?
Yeah. A couple.
Interesting. I don't know. I hope there's no one that hates me. But
you can't think of anyone off the dome that like hates you.
Probably, yeah. But I don't know.
It's such a weird question though, because I don't know if anyone can be like bad, objectively bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And I think every single person has good qualities to them, and some people might have a lot of bad qualities or something that you view as a bad quality. But I don't know. People, what I've kind of come to realize, I guess, is people that are mean to you or mean to other people, they just kind of hate themselves.
Yeah.
And or they have some sort of issue that they're going through and they're taking it out on other people, or they're just portraying how they feel like they're treated by other people onto other people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. It's like if you like yourself and you're happy with your life, you would never even have a reason to be a dick.
Yeah, and I catch myself doing that too. Like if I don't know, can't think of an example, but if somebody I see somebody and I immediately think something negative about them, or I point something out about them in my head, like, oh, this person, like I point out a flaw, I catch myself doing that. And I'm like, why am I even doing that? Yeah. And the reason that I'm probably doing that is because some flaw about myself that I don't like, and I see them and I just want to nitpick at them.
Yeah. Well, there's people that I'll meet, and if I see something in this person that is something that I don't want to see in myself, it makes me not like them, or not like overtly hate them, but it's like I just don't really care to get to know them more, or like want to be around them. And there's people that, like, one of my biggest fears for myself is like being just lazy. And so I feel like when I meet people, and if I get any sense of like, if I feel like someone's potentially lazy, I have like a warning sign that goes off of like, I don't know if I want to associate with this person, because like I don't want to see that in myself. And if I see that in them, like that's a red flag. But that's kind of fucked up, because I don't even know this person. I never even met them. Like that's such an unfair judgment.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going to make judgments whether or not we want to.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Just not judge them. But I'm going to judge them.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, humans are weird.
Yeah.
They're so complex.
They are.
Why couldn't we just be a system, like a computer? Like, we can have emotions, but if everything just works a certain way because we're a person. So it's like, if you're a person, you know, you just, I don't know, like, why can't everything just be like more regulated? Like, all right, if someone's nice to you, you're nice to them. That's how it is.
It's because everyone's their own unique person. And I know everyone wants to strive for this whole kumbaya, let's all be happy together and respect one another. That sounds awesome on paper, and I would love that. But I just know that that's not going to happen, because people suck. And people,
I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about how, like, the foundation of, like, basically the whole world is, like, wanting power.
Yeah.
The reason we go to like wars is over power, and the reason like there's all this religious turmoil between religions is for power, and the reason that there's racism and
gender
like
inequality,
sexism is all because of power. But they were like breaking it down like kind of on like a big scale, and they were like, I don't know, it just really hit me. It's like all of this turmoil in anything comes down to power, but it's like, for fucking what? It's like, and I think it's just human nature. It's like humans, and I don't even think that that's an objectively bad thing. Like, humans want power, because if you have power, you're more likely to survive, and that's...
I'd like power.
Yeah, like, but it's just so weird that literally like all the countries that, you know, there's turmoil between the U.S. and all these different countries, it's all because of fucking power. But
we want oil.
Power in and of itself is... like, it's not even real. It's just this, like, fake thing that you somehow have more power than someone else, which I don't even know what that
authority
is. It's like the ability to do something and other people can't stop you.
Yeah, it's like authority, being able to do something and people can't stop you, or being able to tell them what to do and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but it's like, why do we want that?
I don't know. I don't want that. I mean, I don't know.
Like, I want freedom to do things, and like, obviously everybody wants freedom, but like, it's just so weird that the country's foundation, like, and even on a personal level, like, career development and life development, a lot of it is about like when you're young, you don't have any power, and then if you start a company or if you get rich or if you whatever, you have power.
Yeah.
It's just so, I don't know, it's such a weird thing to me.
I don't know. People like to have a step on somebody. Like, people love that when they're just like, I got to step on you.
Yeah. Or people just love telling people what to do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can't do that.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is just the people that tell you what to do. Like, that don't have any authority to tell you what to do or tell you how to live.
That's why Kyle doesn't wash his hands after he poops.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always told him his whole life to wash his hands after he poops.
I wash them before, so they're clean when I touch my ass. I don't. I wash my
Kyle
hands.
wipes with his bare hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know how I didn't bring this up earlier, and I can't believe like you haven't even remembered this to talk about this. You had like a magical experience at work.
What?
You texted us and you were like, you sent a really confusing Snapchat about how some guy came into your work and he magically turned on a bunch of water fountains with his jacket.
Yeah, okay.
So can you explain? Because I need to hear this and get an in-depth explanation.
Yeah, okay. I forgot about this. Bro, is he trimming hedges upstairs?
He's like drilling off some dude.
So you know those sinks that that you put your hands up to them, and they're the automatic sinks.
Yeah.
Like, you put your hands up, the water comes out. Okay. So this guy, he comes out of the locker room and he's like, "Hey, you wanna see something cool?" Immediately, I'm like, "That's a weird thing to ask in the locker room. Hey, want to come check something out in the locker room?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And he just starts walking by all of these.
Were you hesitant or were you like, okay?
I mean, I talked to the guy. He's a cool guy, so I was like, sure, whatever. So I walked in, and then he's walking past all the sinks, and they're just all turning on. Like,
is he right next to them, or kind of like
he'd be like as far away as I am from you? He'd be walking like side to side. He could even go farther back,
which is not at like usually you would need to be right up next to it.
Yeah, with your hands underneath it. But apparently, it's his jacket somehow is reflecting the sensors. I don't really even understand how it works, but somehow the sensor was using his jacket to like reflect onto itself, and the sinks were turning on. So every time he's walking back and forth, all the sinks would just like in motion, like turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off.
That's
like,
sick.
as he walked past.
That's really sick.
It threw me off.
When you text me that, how I interpreted it, dude, that grammar in that text,
I was so mind blown that I just went.
Yeah, like I could tell that Kyle was kind of panicking because he just witnessed like witchcraft.
Yeah.
Because the text had no periods in it. But anyway,
it was just a long thought.
I thought what you meant was that like this guy's coat was like the same brand, the same company as the company that makes the sinks, and you made it sound like that he had like some trigger in the coat where like it just knew that he was next to it and would just turn it on.
Oh.
And I was like, that's amazing.
It was all just reflection. And his coat looked kind of cool. It was kind of reflective.
Yeah.
But I still don't really he explained it to me, and I didn't understand it. But it's just like, it blew my mind. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah,
no, I had no idea either. Speaking of like kind of paranormal stuff, I found this cool thing and I just wanted to kind of read it. We won't go too in depth because there's not a whole lot to talk about, but it's this thing that is called the $1 million Paranormal Challenge.
I don't like that.
And let me just pull up the Wikipedia for it. So the $1 million Paranormal Challenge was an offer by the James Randi Educational Foundation to pay out $1 million to anyone who could demonstrate supernatural or paranormal ability under agreed upon scientific testing criteria. A version of the challenge was first issued in 1964. Over 1,000 people applied to take it, but no one was successful. So basically, there was this guy, I guess, I don't know if it was James Randi. Oh, yeah, James Randi, the founder of it. Basically, they were offering $1 million for over 50 years. For 51 years, they were offering $1 million if anyone could come to them and demonstrate some supernatural or paranormal under their like agreed upon rules to basically
I wonder what the rules
weed
are.
out all. I have the rules here.
Okay,
so the participant must agree in writing to the conditions and criteria of their test. Claims that cannot be tested experimentally are not eligible for the challenge, blah, blah, blah. To ensure that the experimental conditions themselves did not negatively affect a claimant's ability to perform non-blinded preliminary control tests are often performed. For example, the JREF, which is the foundation, had dowsers. What are dowsers? Dowsers perform a control test in which the dowsers blah blah blah. Anyways, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Someone messaged me and told me that's like it's an interesting thing, and that happened. Like someone texted me about that the same day you sent that thing, and it's just kind of cool that for literally 51 years, if you really were like a super being or a superhuman,
you had the opportunity.
You had your chance. So that's proof to me
there's none.
That it doesn't exist, at least in those 50 years.
Or at least maybe the people that have that ability don't want to.
They don't want $1 million.
Well, they might want $1 million, but they don't want to show their thing to these scientist dudes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if I was a superhero, I wouldn't need $1 million because I could just get as much money as I needed. I also wouldn't really need money because I'm not even a human, and I can probably just.
How would you get money?
I wouldn't need money, probably.
Why?
I don't know. I'd probably live on a different planet. I can fly here. I don't need to sleep. I'm immortal.
Good points.
All that shit.
All good points.
Speaking of that, guys, I am in the midst of a superhero challenge where basically I'm watching a new superhero movie every single day. When I started it, I wasn't planning on doing it every day, but there's been some momentum on TikTok, so I'm just trying to do a new one every day. But
ride that wave.
Basically, I'm starting in 1978 and going to 2021, so I'm watching a lot of the shitty old ones right now, and I decided I'm going to try and do movie reviews on my other YouTube channel for every single one. So if you guys like movie and TV show content, all that'll be linked below. Go check it out. But yeah.
All right, segment time. We were doing recommendations. John did not come prepared, and he has just thought of a recommendation. So what do you have to recommend to people?
Yeah, it's a super good one this week, guys. All right, this is something I do regularly, and I think that in the long run, it's made my life a lot better. I do it. I always do it, but particularly when I DoorDash, I do it. But anytime you are going from like a parking lot into a place, whether it be a restaurant or a store, don't just walk normal. Give like a slight jog. Not a jog to where like you could start sweating from it, but like
a paddle jog.
Like a paddle jog.
You're jogging into like
and
Subway?
Just do that I always do. Everywhere I go, if I'm by myself. If I'm with the boys, I don't, because they don't want to do it apparently, because you're not cool enough to paddle jog with me.
Why are you jogging everywhere?
Because I save so much time.
You're not saving that much time.
In the long run, I guarantee I've saved so much time. In my life.
Are you always paddle jogging? Like you paddle jog into the grocery store?
Yeah. If I parked.
So you're going to the grocery store.
I think you're overestimating how quick I'm jogging.
And you're like.
No, I'm not moving my hands like that. No, I'll do it. I'll show you.
Okay.
This is the speed at which this is walking.
Yeah, okay, walking.
Okay, and then
now give me your brisk speed walk.
Oh, that's too fast.
That's faster than I went.
Just a quick no. Wait, hold
so on. You just seem like you're speed walking.
Kinda, but it's like maybe like.
That's exactly what I did.
No, your arms were going like this.
Okay, so.
Mine's like a.
Okay, so it's like a paddle jog without moving your arms.
My form doesn't matter. It's not the form that I care
Well, you were
about.
critiquing my form.
I'm just saying, if you guys start moving quicker in and out of places, because think about, if you move quickly to your car, that means you start your car quicker, which means you get on the road quicker. And you could potentially even save your life, because if you go quicker, you could not get in a car. You might make it through a light where otherwise you would have got stuck, and then you would have got rear-ended in that light.
I get to my car quicker now, and now I get hit by a car. So, you know what? I'm just going to keep going at the speed that I normally go at because that's been keeping me alive so far.
Actually, no. Okay, that's fair because that could either way that could happen. But what definitely would go quicker is like you definitely would save time if you do that all the time. Even if
somehow, yeah, you would.
Even if it's just the time of moving from the building to the car, even if that's the only thing you save time on, like even if you didn't hit any extra lights or
but like if I save time on getting to my car and I still get stuck at a red light, is it doing much?
No, it wouldn't. But yeah, that's a good point. But like there's a lot of scenarios where that won't be. There's a lot of scenarios where, it might not make a difference, but there's also a lot of scenarios where it might make a difference.
Because there's a lot of times in the morning where I'm hustling to get to work and I get in my car and I'm ready to go. And there's this one red light that I am stuck at for so long. It's the first light too, right by my apartment. And
Maybe if you would have jogged a little quicker to your car, you might have made it.
There's like a certain little golden zone that I can't figure out when it is that it turns green. And I don't know when it is. Sometimes I randomly hit it right when I turn out of my apartment. Most of the time I don't, and I'm just sitting there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I could have just been sitting in my bed for 5 minutes.
But when you get in your car in the morning, you connect to Bluetooth.
I do, yeah.
So that's like 15 seconds.
That's true.
So if you wouldn't have connected to Bluetooth, you would have been quicker. You would have made it through that light.
But I do it while I'm driving. I do it like as I'm backing out. I'm saying Bluetooth audio, and then it like doesn't recognize it like 4 times, and then I have to keep saying it, and then I'm yelling at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, my recommendation this week is clearly I seem like a stressed out guy. I am. So if you want to relieve some stress,
masturbation.
That is a good one. I wish I said that. Foam rolling.
Oh,
and I know, Jordan, if you're listening to this, Jordan, you're going to hate me because I've been kind of a rebel to foam rolling. Not that I don't think it helps, but I just didn't really like to do it. And now that I'm doing it on a consistent basis, like on my own without being pressured by Jordan to do it, it feels amazing. And specifically, I want to mention the back of your head / neck. That is where I carry all of my stress. And when I just lay on the back of a foam roller and just like roll my neck and my head out, oh, it's so good. And I just feel so much better afterwards.
Do you think maybe you didn't foam roll because you've always felt like Jordan told you to foam roll and you're like, no, I don't want to because you're telling me to? Why didn't you like it?
I think I didn't like it because it hurt because I was so tight. Yeah, and I didn't
fucking point.
Yeah, part of it was that, and part of it was just being lazy and just not staying consistent with it. Because I mean, once you start getting consistent with something, then it's way easier. It's like the same thing with going to the gym. Going to the gym once, it sounds great, and then you do it, and then you're super sore the next day.
Yeah,
and you don't want to go back. But if you keep going back, you're not going to be as sore, and then pretty much you're going to like the gym.
And you get to a point, if you go really regularly, you get to a point where like you're not even that sore ever.
And
like,
then if you're foam rolling too, it's the same thing. Like I was in a lot of pain. I have some certain parts of my body that are extremely, extremely tight, especially my asshole.
So Kyle basically the foam roller is supposed to roll the long way, but Kyle puts it up and just sits on it.
Yeah.
And he stretches out his ass.
Like the guy with the jar.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I film it too. It's on Patreon if you want to go check it out, patreon.com/PIMS podcast.
Yeah. If you guys want to see Kyle get fisted by a whole tube.
Entire foam roll. So try foam rolling, guys. Okay. And I know you're not going to like it at first. You're going to be like, this hurts. My muscles are in pain. Trust me, do it more.
Power through.
If I just roll out my whole body, like I can't even tell you how good my body feels.
Yeah. Shim gave me a really good piece of advice with like not just foam rolling, but like stretching or just warming up in general. He told me like he's like, I don't do things a certain number of times. I do it a certain number of breaths. And he's like the reps, like, so he's like, I don't roll out my quad like 20 times or whatever. He's like, I'll do 20 breaths at a certain pace, and however many times I do it. And I think I don't know why he does that, but I think his point was that if you just focus on your breathing and don't really try and focus on like the pain that your leg is in and like, oh, I only have to do it 4 more times.
Exactly.
It's kind of, I don't know. That's what I do now, and it helps.
I usually just go until like I can tell I feel better.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah, you can get if you guys don't have a foam roller, they are awesome, and you can get them on Amazon for literally like $10, I think. So
yeah, and it's super easy. There's definitely videos online you can find, or if you want to get some good foam rolling advice, you can hit up @JShimFit.
Yeah,
he'll hit you up.
Yeah, and just pay him like a small fee of like $780.
Yeah,
and he'll give you like 7 foam rolling tips.
Foam rolling program, yeah.
I'm kidding. He is great. Hit him up. Okay. Fan questions. All right, so I have a fan question that someone left in an Apple Podcast review. So let me just read their review first of all, because all of you guys should go leave a review for us on the Apple Podcast app to get us to 500.
That'd be super helpful. Thank you.
They said, "Hey, John and Kyle, I'm going to start by saying that I don't have any social media accounts, and I really wanted to send you guys a fan question. So here it is. The first PIMS fan question from Apple Podcasts. If you guys could eliminate one famous music artist from history forever, who would you eliminate and why? This means any song they ever wrote is gone, and none of their socials exist. Who is gone?"
That's hard. Because, I mean, I don't want to, like, kill off a celebrity, you know? But I don't know. What's
have
do
to.
you have anything in mind that's just, like, truly the worst song ever?
Matt Mogg.
Yeah,
All
definitely
of
Matt Mogg.
his whole catalog.
Oh, so bad. Just kidding.
I love Matt. Go stream his music.
Yeah.
I don't have any artists that I absolutely despise. So, like, I have no reason to wish that someone didn't exist.
What about, like, a celebrity maybe, or someone like their work, like just an actor that just they have the worst movies, like maybe Nicolas Cage?
No, Nicolas Cage.
But he's like
has
a
great
legend
movies.
for being bad, you know?
Yeah, but he's awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I will say what I don't like is when people who have never been music artists at all, like they're YouTubers or something, and then their manager or agents are like, "Hey, you know what could really elevate your careers if you start making pop music or if you start rapping?" And I don't know. So there recently, Addison Rae, you know Addison Rae,
yeah.
Big TikTok girl. You know, she got big on TikTok for like being hot, basically, and she just did like her debut. I don't know if it was a single or EP or whatever, but it's like a very expensive music video, and like clearly you can just tell by listening. It's like, this is so uninspired. Like you made a song, but you're not a music artist.
And she probably doesn't care about the.
Yeah, and it just feels like a disrespectful to all the people that work really hard to be artists, and then she just puts out one song. So maybe her music and her social media platforms. Not that I hate her personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
I think there's definitely some like people that had Disney singer careers that weren't great. Like Mitchell Musso, if you remember him from Hannah Montana.
But do you really want that to not exist?
No, it's awesome though. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Because I think he rapped.
Wait, he rapped?
I think he rapped. I'm not sure, but I think he was a rapper, and
I kind of want to listen to it.
I do too. So, you know what? I don't think I have an answer.
You don't
for
like
that.
Blueface?
You're right. Actually, I'd say him. I don't like that music.
What about that? Remember Bunk Gang, the guy who would steal shit on IG Live? He would just run out of stores stealing shit.
Just one of the least cool things ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that.
Kodak.
No, yeah, I guess. I just don't really listen to him. I don't care about his music.
That's hard because I don't hate really anyone for any music artist, really.
Yeah. I guess R. Kelly. I was going to say
but
R.
his
Kelly.
music's fire, so like I don't really
good music.
I don't want to eliminate that. So yeah, thank you so much for the question. We really appreciate it. What's your name? Swick Yeet 21.
No, on the bottom it says his name.
Oh, Brody. Thanks, Brody. I like Swick Yeet too.
Swick Yeet. Okay. Another fan question. This one comes from the Question King, Cody. Always with the questions. And always, I'm noticing a theme. He likes the shit questions and the ass questions. Okay, so would you rather always have an itchy asshole, or everyone you speak to has to point out a personal flaw of yours before they can speak to you? This time the podcast is not excluded. So this includes like parents, friends, like a boss, anyone. Yeah. It's just like...
Wait, so sorry. Either I always have an itchy asshole.
Yeah.
Or every time I talk to someone else,
they
immediately
have to point
out a flaw.
They'll point out a flaw, and then the conversation starts.
Okay.
So it's like...
So it's either like I'm sitting like this most of the episode.
Always just... yeah.
Or I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Or how's it going, Kyle?
You look really fat today. I'm doing well. How about you?
I really just think your fingernails are getting too long.
Yeah.
But I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I see. If it's something like that, I can handle that because I'm not insecure about my fingernails.
Yeah. I don't think your fingernails are too long.
Thanks. I don't think you're fat either.
Thanks.
You're welcome. But you know what? I think I might take that because I don't want an itchy asshole. Like an itchy asshole is like unstoppably itchy, obviously. It's just one of those things that you can't get control over.
Yeah, when you do have an itchy ass, it's like
it could be uncontrollable.
It's one of the itchiest places
yeah.
in the human body.
And it's the worst feeling because you just know that it's your fault.
And you know that like you're kind of getting shit on your
underwear. You're like, this is my fault because I have bad hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would take the personal thing. I think I can handle it. Obviously I don't want someone to always point out my flaws, but there might just come to a point where I'm just completely numb to it and I'm used to it. And the itchy asshole, I don't think you ever get used to that.
But yeah, I agree. I would much rather have someone point out my flaws. I think it would strengthen my shell. It'd be a lot harder to hurt my feelings.
But if I was having a real bad day and then I just start talking to people and they're like, "Hey, you look real ugly."
Yeah, like, or shit. Some really hot girl is like Kyle's having the worst day. He got a flat tire. He got fired from his job, and then he meets this hot girl at Chipotle, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I would rather not have sex for the rest of my life than ever have sex with you."
Yeah, that would be cool. Also, on my wedding day, the guy's gonna be like, "So, Kyle, your feet are tiny. Do you take this person to be your lawfully wedded wife?" And I'm like, "I do."
Yeah.
And then she's reading me her vows. She's like, "Kyle,
I've only married you because you're rich,
and I promise to love you for the rest of your life." Yeah.
That would be really tough, but I don't want an itchy ass because you ever try and itch your ass in public and hide it?
I'd be at my wedding
really hard
scratching my ass. So yeah, I'd rather be getting blatantly disrespected than itching my ass, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the questions. If you guys have any good questions, get creative with it like those two. Those were good ones. DM us on Instagram at PIMS Podcast. If you guys want extra content, you can go to patreon.com/PIMS Podcast, and there's pre-shows for every single episode, deleted scenes and bloopers.
Foam roller up the ass.
Maybe soon.
You're going to have to go find out if it's there or not.
But there are literally pictures of Kyle's feet, so if anyone's got a weird foot fetish,
it's true.
There's your thing. Yep. Kyle, where can they get PIMS merch?
You can get PIMS merch at pims.store. We got shirts, we got hoodies, and we got hats, and they're all fantastic.
And tanks are going to come out this summer.
Tanks coming soon.
Bah, bah, bah.
Start doing your curls.
Yeah. All right. Where can they follow you?
Instagram at KyleStafford36. Follow the podcast at PIMS Podcast. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
You guys can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Instagram, Twitter, and particularly TikTok because I'm doing this challenge and I'm posting a new one every day of like a new superhero movie. I do a quick little review. A lot of them have sucked so far, so if you want to follow along with my misery, go follow me over there. New episodes every Monday and Thursday, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.